Hello and welcome back to 1874 in association with NordVPN. Head to 1874.io/NordVPN to find out what they're all about and get some extra football in your life. It's completely risk-free because they've got a 30-day money-back guarantee and you'll get a huge discount plus 4 months for free by heading to 1874.io/NordVPN. I am your host, Dan Bardell, joined by the Athletics Aston Villa correspondent, Jacob Tanswell, aka Sneaky Contract Boy, and yesterday on The Athletic, he was certainly living up to his name. Jacob, how are you?
Doing very well, thank you, mate. It's been it's been a long time coming, really, for Matty Cash. We'd heard about it in the summer. We weren't too sure of how close it was. At points, even during August, I thought, okay, let's go. Then I had a bit of hesitation from other sources, so we didn't put it out. But now, it was basically all done yesterday. Still waiting for the legals to be sorted and arranged like that. But it's going to happen. So it's till 2029, option of a further 12 months, and he's probably one of quite a few that will commit in the next few weeks and months.
Yeah, you spoke about this a while ago, in fairness. You spoke about it in the summer. You said when the transfer window shut, Villa would start to tie up a few players. And the first one you actually mentioned was Matty Cash. And at the time, this was the summer, everyone was very stressed because Villa weren't doing anything. I think the reaction could probably be best described as lukewarm. I do think people are maybe doubters. I think that pass he did the other day certainly helped. People are starting to come round now to the fact of what an important player he is for Aston Villa. I said on a video the other day that when I was with Dion on Sunday watching the game, he said Matty Cash he thought was one of his favourite players and was just praising him for being so consistent. And because he's kind of outside the Villa bubble a lot of the time, when I said, actually, the fans, it's probably 50-50, he gets quite a lot of stick, he couldn't believe it because what he sees is an ultra-consistent player that's been a really key part under Unai Emery.
Yeah, and I think if you speak to people in Villa, there's a massive appreciation. I wrote about after the Tottenham game. There's a massive appreciation for him, and some people think he's one of the most reliable right backs in the league. And I know people right now, some will spew and say, "Hold on, he was at fault for that Man United goal." He's made big errors, and I think he has. And there was a time when he would make errors, give away penalties, and he'd be injured quite a bit. But he's now shown over a pretty extended length that, obviously, take away that Man United game, he was really good towards the back end of last season. One of the best performances. That clearance he did against Bournemouth, saved 2 points. Yeah, and he started this season in a similar vein, if not even better. So I think let's be honest. If Villa had £50 million to spend on a right back, they would do it, right? So it's not like Matty Cash is amazing. Like, he is our right back. We don't want anyone else. Circumstances have obviously dictated in previous windows. They've not been able to sign a right back. They wanted a right back in the summer of 2024, didn't have enough room. They then signed, obviously, that summer, they signed Ian Maatsen. Maatsen and Luca Dean's wages are treble of what the 2 right backs are on combined. So you can't then add to the wage bill and sign another right back. So it really, of course, there's been circumstance, but also the fact is he has had challenges. Disasi, Nedeljkovic, Garcia, contemplated right back, Bogard. But he's got through it, and now he's playing more. And Emery even said it. He said, I used to be concerned about him getting to 70th, 80th minute.
Yeah.
Now he's not. And also, he did have issues with his calves, his hamstrings. But the medical team, people close to him, think that they found a reason why he was suffering. And now he should be more durable, more robust.
Do you think, obviously, a few players have signed contracts recently and taken pay cuts? I guess Matty Cash wouldn't be in that boat at his age, 28.
I've not heard that. And, you see the other players that have taken pay cuts. Let's say Luca Dean, right? It's not an outright pay cut. It's a pay cut in the final year, I believe. So, and he's at a very different stage of his career, right? He's over 30, towards the end of terms of getting new contracts, where Cash is 28 now. I haven't heard he's had a pay cut. But we'll go on to all the other contracts. Those guys won't be taking pay cuts either.
No, some may be getting pay rises, I would imagine, in Morgan Rogers' case in particular. Let's go with him. Let's go with Morgan Rogers, as he's just come up organically. You expect him to sign a new contract soon as well, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know why. It surprised me why this news came out yesterday. Like, we reported in July that Villa were going to offer him a new contract, and they were already in talks. So when I saw the line yesterday, that Villa started contract talks with Morgan Rogers, I was like, but is that an update, really? I don't think it's not moved. I do expect him to sign a contract, and there have been talks in recent weeks. Intensify, shall we say. So I do expect to sign a new contract. And it's not mainly to show that he's committed. And it doesn't mean for a giving that he's going to be at Aston Villa next summer or next season even. It's more a case of placating him, bringing him in line with the high earners at the club and showing how important he is to the team.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair as well. You'd expect him to start like hitting goals and assists again. You know, he was quite late in terms of getting a goal and assist last season, from what I remember. Not to the extent of this season, but once he did, he really never stopped getting goals and assists. So I'd expect that to be something that carries on. What would the duration of that contract be? Would it be much change to the duration that he's got already, or is it just a pay rise essentially?
I imagine there'll be maybe one more year added, but he's still on a long-term contract now. He only signed his last one last October. Or December even, so even less than 12 months. So it's more a case of salary. And like I say, people don't take it as a given that he'll stay beyond the summer if he signs a new contract.
The contracts essentially they protect the value of a player more so than anything nowadays. It doesn't mean that they're not going to be sold or they're unsellable. Even in
that case, I don't think it's really protecting the value because he's still on a long-term contract now. So it's not like he's got 1 or 2 years left. He's still got 3-4 years after this. It's more a case of bringing him in line with other high earners and just basically, pleasing him, but also rewarding him for how important he's become. Yeah,
and John McGinn as well. You've been reporting that for a while. In fairness as well, would you expect that to be the next cab off the rank?
I do, yeah. So this was we reported at the time when Everton's interest was big in him, and Villa had turned down an offer July 27th. They received a formal offer for him. And we reported at the time that Villa dismissed this and they're planning to really ramp up contract talks. That's coming to a close now. I think there was rumblings a couple of weeks ago that they'd like to announce Cash and McGinn together. Let's see if that happens. But yeah, I think I expect him to be the next one after Cash or maybe with him.
Is anything to do with the new sporting director? I know that's not his job title. Halali, is these speeding up the expedition of this? Is it anything to do with him now starting or no?
Not particularly. He only started 2 weeks ago Monday. He's just been going around. We'll do a piece on him in the international break and his start and the inner workings and chains of command now. He's just been going around introducing himself, getting a feel of things, understanding what works, what doesn't. He's not. The contract talk started way before he arrived. It was more between the others at the club.
Look at Jacob already looking forward and planning what he's going to be writing about.
I've been working on this one for a couple of months. So it's just about when best to do it really, and it's about not just about Alabi, but the multi-club model. There's some clubs that Villa are in partnership with that other people don't know and hasn't been reported yet. So hopefully it holds by the time we put it out there.
Let's hope so. I won't even ask you who they are off camera. Let's just keep it in. Let's keep it in your mind and keep it top secret. On contract wise, would you expect any more than the players that we've spoken about to be signed up over the next kind of 3 months, 4 months?
I think there's obviously others. I think obviously there's been speculation of Tillemans and Pau Torres. These guys, maybe we see. I don't know. This is me just think out loud, but you see maybe Ollie Watkins. His maybe his window of opportunity to move elsewhere has maybe gone, or to the club that he thought he could get to has maybe gone, and to really, for his morale, for his confidence, to show faith in him. I know he's still got a few years left on his contract, but I do think that could be a potential.
Emi Buendia as well. I can't remember when he signed that weird extension just under a year ago. What was that to? Was it to the end of this season or was it to the end of next season? I've got a feeling it was next season, but I could be wrong here.
Yeah, I think it's 2027. So it's just another year basically. And really at the time you thought, why are they doing that for? But Leverkusen, as that happened, didn't take up the option to buy him, and now it was a pretty safe and good decision really to protect his market value.
Yeah, and if he keeps up his form, Villa do show and have shown over the years that they will reward players, and they'll reward players that have been at the club for a long time as well. Maybe in moments where they don't necessarily have to, but all these things are good for dressing room harmony and making players feel valued. And I've got to say, I think Villa have done that pretty well over the years.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's potentially changing of approach, or maybe think right. we're still in a sticky spot with financial. I know our squad cost rules are still high, and this won't help. But if we can really identify who the key players are, we focus on the short term in terms of the next 2 to 3 seasons. We keep them here. We don't change too much. We can just focus on them and really build a team that way. And focus on the players that will be here in the next 2 3 years. I do think at some point with these players that are signing new contracts, be it McGinn, Cash, potentially Watkins, Tillemans, these guys, there'll be a point in maybe 3 years' time where you think they're all turning 30 together. Or in case of McGinn, he's already 30, so
31 now.
31. So you think we probably will need to start looking. So what's good is that, let's say about this Matty Cash contract, right? He's till 2029, but Villa would hope, and every other club ordinarily would hope, you'd have a challenger for him in the year before, maybe, so you can bed him in. But what we thought Ian Matson would do with Luca Dean.
Yeah.
And then by the time 2029 or 2030 comes, Cash is, he still might be performing great. That's brilliant. Fine. He can stay as the number 1 right back. If not, he either moves on or becomes second choice. So I think what Villa are doing is kind of giving themselves a couple more years, really, before they have to really regenerate the squad.
Yeah, it's good. And I will say as well, you saw the situation Liverpool got themselves into at the end of last season where they had 3 massive players going into the last year of their contract and you're unsure what's going to happen. I can't remember the last time Villa had to worry about a player, running down their contract, losing a player on a free. We haven't really ever been in that situation. I mean, there was a point where we didn't have any players that anyone would want anyway, but, since Emery's come in, certainly, contracts have been dealt with really swiftly and we haven't got ourselves in that situation.
Well, Robert Olsen and Courtney Howe had to leave them free, didn't they? Villa never sorted those deals out.
Huge blows.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. And I think it's good. It's good planning. Even this season, right? There's, I think, only Ross Barkley, but Villa got an option for another year. So then, though, and it's good really for the morale of the change room, but also Emery just has to be kept being asked questions about whether these players will sign new contracts or not.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay then, Jacob. Well, if you've got nothing else contracts-wise, we will move on and finish the show. So thank you very much for joining me today. And thank you very much to you, the audience, as well, for joining me for this sneaky contracts update with sneaky contract boy, Jacob Tanswell. Thank you to NordVPN for continuing to sponsor us. Head to 1874.io/NordVPN to check those guys out. If you have watched this via YouTube, subscribe with your post notifications on, leave us a comment and give us a like as well. Let us know what you think of the contract situation at Villa and these players signing new contracts via audio. If you could leave us 5 stars, that would be great. Leave us a review and leave us a comment. All those things really, really help us. And we'll be back probably quite shortly, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, for a match preview of Villa's tie to Go Ahead Eagles in Holland. So watch out for that and keep your eye on our socials so you know when all the content is coming out. Thank you very much for all the support on the channel. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, it's an Up the Villa from me and it's an Up the Villa from Jacob Tanswell.
Up the Villa.